Shalom, shalom. Yes. 8/23/2022. I keep hearing this sound in my ears. It's like a woo. It's like something just went off. You know what I mean? Well, you probably don't know what I mean because you can't hear what I hear. But it's a recurring sound in the ear, and we'll see. We'll see. I hope you haven't forgot about the war in Ukraine. I hope you haven't forgot about the war in Israel with Palestine in the Gaza Strip. Damascus shall be a ruinous heap. I hope you haven't forgot about the war that's going on here in America, cultural wars, spiritual wars, economic wars, the war with Taiwan and China and United States. I hope you haven't forgot about that. You see what happened on the border in San Diego, in Tijuana, the drug lords coming out because their funds are drying up. Liquidity money is being pulled out of the system, so they don't have that leverage that they used to have. You got Jackson Hole coming up, which is another arm of the beast. Okay, where they're going to get together and formulate their papers and their plans, uh, but it will not stick. Because Babylon is fallen, is divided. Okay, it's partly weak and partly strong. What else we got? See what happened in Morocco. Um, Morocco having a problem with the Sahara Desert. Uh, when they did the Abraham Accords, the United States recognized Morocco as having sovereign territory of that area, and Al- uh, Algeria didn't like that. So we'll see. We'll see what happens in the Western Sahara. Okay, over there in Mauritania, if that becomes a conflict. Oh man, so much going on. Floods are happening, droughts in the West. Earthquakes are still going on. Volcanoes are still going on. In fact, I need to look at the volcano list and see which ones have been active this year. Uh, but more importantly, the biggest thing that we want to see reports coming out of Iran, whether or not they will have this nuclear agreement. Whether they get the nuclear agreement or not, it doesn't matter because Israel will still try to destroy Iran with the help of Germany. Okay, Germany is having a little scandal over there with Olaf Scholz. Olaf, Count Olaf. If you know, you know. Um, I mean, it's so much stuff that's going on. I never imagined that um Babylon would have so many problems all at once. Even though the Messiah said, when you see all these things happening, know that the end is here. When you see earthquakes, famine, pestilence, uh, floods, when you see all these things, know that the end is near. And we see all these things all happening at once. So those people who would like to hang their doubts on hooks, you know, just know that yes, earthquakes and all this stuff has been happening over time, but they haven't happened in a long time, all at once. Okay, that is the defining difference. When we look at what the Messiah says, when you see all these things happening at once. Um, Iran don't need to have a nuclear bomb. They don't need to produce a nuclear bomb. Okay, they just don't need to. Why? Because they have an agreement with Russia, who already has those weapons, and all they have to do is swap. I give you drones, you give me nukes. That's it. Drones for nukes. Okay, just an even swap. All right, not so even, but territorially, if we have to fight NATO, Russia thinks that we got to fight NATO, which they will down in the Valley of Decision. Okay, uh, you know, they have to figure out we can't allow our enemy to have the upper hand, and you don't have a part and parcel say so in that. So we'll see what this agreement brings about. That's one of the things I've been waiting on, to see what the agreement is, what is it going to open up, and how Israel is going to respond, because that's going to be a major thing. Israel don't want to have nothing. Israel just wants to attack Iran off the bat. They don't want to have no agreements, no side steps or anything like that. They just want to go straight rogue on Iran. And if they do that, boy oh boy, you know it's really on. But I wanted to also give you a survival tip, because they're talking about turning off energy utilities, especially over in Europe. They rationing out energy through different industries and businesses. You know, you can't have your energy on. You can't have your run your facility only but a certain hour. Excuse me, only but a few certain hours. And here in the West, oh my goodness! Now that I have a better knowledge of the grid and how the grid works, man, if we have any hard things, any type of uh, war situation, the electricity is out. So, but what you can do um, is have some not drop cloth, but drop plastic, painter's plastic, and you can use that to seal up your windows to keep the draft from coming through your windows. And if you can't do that, trash bags work. 30-gallon size trash bags work just as well. You know, you cut them out, put it on your window, so you can keep that draft out and keep some of that cold air out in the house. That's just my survival tip for you to know. Something for you to know. I really think that something major is going to happen in September. I mean, it's just too much. I know November is going to be a problem, because whatever the deep state is looking to do to keep the Congress that they do have, we'll see. We'll see if they, you know, if you got to come out, you got to vote. I mean, well, you don't have to vote, but you should vote. You know, you should put your name on the ballot. Just like I was saying the other day, blessed are those who die on the Lord from this day forward, and their works and their labor shall follow them. Say something, you know, bind something, you know, loose something here on earth for your favor. You see the Democrats been running around doing sleight of hand. You got the Federal Reserve doing a sleight of hand. You got new mandates for the Inquisition Party to come at your door. FBI is going rogue. You know, it's terrible. You got General Mark Milley talking wild. I don't know if it's really treason or if it's borderline, but I mean, some of the stuff he has said don't seem like he on our team. What else? Australia. Wow, they are having a hard time down there in the outback. Okay, they're having a hard time. Floods on one side, fires up on the other, and trade difficulty with China. Even here in the U.S. domestically, the mail is not running right. I mean, the mail is just not running right. But we knew this when they had the congressional record or the congressional hearing about how they was going to scale down and revamp the postal system. Now, if Russia goes ahead with honoring their red line with Ukraine, if they blow up the bridge, then you can expect some war to pop off in Finland and Sweden. Okay, because that's where a lot of troops are stationed at right now, and they're ready to go. NATO is ready to go, or at least they're getting there. So you also have to decide whether or not you want to be shipped over there to the to this war conflict, because they need bodies. That's my 10 minutes of Babylon review. I hope to see you in the next video. Shalom.